The Boy Who Wanted to Go to Heaven. Mr. UDIN was a religious teacher at an elementary school. One day, Mr. UDIN was teaching and discussing about heaven. He explained how life in heaven would be very secure and there would be no difficulties. After explaining at length, Mr. UDIN asked all of his students, "So, children, who wants to go to heaven later?" "Me, sir." "Me." All the students immediately answered in unison. But there was one child who was silent, not raising his hand. The student named Ali seemed to be less interested. Seeing this, Mr. UDIN thought Ali didn't hear his question earlier. So Mr. UDIN repeated the question. "Children, who wants to go to heaven? Raise your hand." "Me!" Again, all the students answered while raising their hands high. All except Ali. Seeing that, Mr. UDIN was a little confused and asked the third question again. "Those who want to go to heaven, let's stand up." All the students in the class immediately stood up when they heard Mr. UDIN's words. Again, Ali just stayed silent and even paid attention to the book in front of him. Mr. UDIN was worried seeing Ali, who seemed to be not enthusiastic. Finally, Mr. UDIN directly asked Ali, "Ali, you don't want to go to heaven?" "Yes, I do, sir," Ali replied. "But why didn't you stand up?" Mr. UDIN asked again. "Are we going to leave right now, sir?" The Cow Farmer. In a village, there lived a successful cow farmer. He had hundreds of cows that were fat and healthy. One day, a man came to his farm. The man was actually a disguised livestock officer. He asked the farmer, who was sitting on the porch of his house, "Sir, if you don't mind me asking, what do you feed your cows every day?" The farmer answered casually and without any suspicion at all. "I just feed them grass, you know." "In that case, I'm fining you for feeding these cows inappropriately," said the officer while showing his identity as a livestock officer. "The fine is Rp 2 million. With anger and reluctantly, the farmer gave 2 million rupiah. A few days later, the officer came back and asked the same question. However, this time the farmer answered differently. "My cows are fed cheese, hamburgers, and milk," he said, hoping not to be fined. However, his guess was wrong. "In that case, I'm fining you 3 million rupiah for feeding cows beyond reasonable limits," said the officer. Again, this unlucky farmer gave up his 3 million. A week later, the livestock officer was still not satisfied and came again. Of course, he asked the same thing to the farmer, who was already annoyed. "What do you feed your cows?" "Well, sir, every day I give all these cows 3,000 rupiah each, whatever they want to eat," replied the farmer angrily.